This is Sound Off 60.
I want to make sure that the best team is the champion.
Yeah.
I want to play,
And that's key.
if that tournament comes up with this is the best team, I'm for that.
Southwest Louisiana's premier sports talk television show.
With me, without me. All
That
right.
might be the dumbest argument we've ever had.
You
I
are
like the
the
way he
most
does that.
idiotic imbecile if you thought that argument did not have merit. Look, did not.
All right,
McCarran.
So you're talking about my LSU quarterback?
Yeah.
What you put
with me, without me.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Here are the boys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
I'm going to follow in the steps of McNeese head football coach Matt Viator and say I'm a total loss of words. I have no way to explain it. I'm a total loss of words. But we got a 60-minute TV show, so I'm going to have to find some words quickly,
and
guys.
Rick, it's got to be
I'm
tough.
sure
I mean,
he can find
He
some.
can fill in. Right. Maybe.
Just got to be tough. But you were probably the only one that's probably got more insight on the game itself. And I guess a lot of questions I'm going to direct going to be probably to you. But did it feel like deja vu?
Yes, it did.
here's my
Yes, it did. On many
I
different
saw this
Even
game.
though it's a totally different team. Yeah,
I
it
saw.
did. It really did.
I've seen McNeese twice now. This game in Southeastern. And I guess my question would be, what were they doing in the playoffs to begin with? That's the only two games I saw.
Well, you can't gauge it on that, sir.
But I'm knowing that's not fair.
No,
And
totally
it was,
unfair.
It was otherwise
Southeastern
a great
was a rough
season for McNeese. But you know the pattern here for the playoffs. When I've seen most of those playoff games, that the great drought, whatever you want to call it. I don't know that drought is the correct word used for this one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I watched this game, and McNeese didn't play good. Don't get me wrong. But it looked like Jacksonville State was a much better team.
Yeah. On that given
the
night.
seeding on this?
Yeah. Look, again, the Cowboys with an early exit from the playoffs. It's this program's fourth early exit. At least they got a first-round bye this time around against
But in
Jacksonville
effect, they're
State.
still winless.
Very few people were there to see it. We'll talk about that in the second segment of the show because there's a whole lot of little different stories on this and subplots.
Right.
And it really is unfortunate that the Cowboys, this season that they had and some of the records will be remembered and tainted to a certain degree by this loss to Jacksonville State, which is under a first-year head coach is a good solid program. I mean, they have had their successes and failures too. And early exits, but this is a pretty good program.
Let's go back. When was it that Jacksonville State, and this isn't fair, this is, a dozen years ago.
Yeah.
When they were in the South for 4 years.
10 or 11.
They were not anywhere near McNeese's class.
No, they weren't.
Those 4 years.
No.
In fact, if I remember, weren't they making the move up from Division II?
Yes.
At that time.
Yes. But you see, let's not get sucked into that, guys. Let's not get sucked into looking at 10 years ago and where that program was and where McNeese was back in 2002 during, I think, their last playoff win. Yeah. But look, deja vu is a correct way to put it in that the common theme again. And they did not play well. The players did not play well.
Rick,
and the two seniors in the postgame took it upon themselves, said it's not on Coach Viator, it's on us. We didn't make the play.
I don't think it's on Coach Viator. You'll never convince me he's not the right man for that job. No. They never win them.
Yeah.
But he's got some deficiencies when it comes to game planning in these games. He will admit that.
Well, what is the difference? What is the difference in game? It's still a football game.
It is.
I mean, what's the difference in game plan?
I'll toss it over to Mr. Guidry because there's one key point that I thought was critical in this game. I thought that was critical in this game. Go ahead.
When you don't really have that much time to prepare for an opponent like this because you're actually in the playoffs. But when you look back at it and you say to yourself, Rick, this is going to be the mark of any team that you see go off and do well and win a national championship or just win a conference title. There are things that you do well no matter what.
That's right.
Well, can I interrupt you just a second?
You have to
what do you mean you don't have much time to prepare? They had 2 weeks.
Well, you know what I'm saying, Scooter. I mean, but I
They
guess
had a bye.
They had the bye week, but still.
Now, I know they didn't know who they were playing until Saturday, but we had Coach Viator tell us on this show.
Right.
They're getting a head start.
But I guess my point in that, Scooter, is just that when you look at teams like this that get into postseason, you know, you have to be at a different level for how your skill play is, Rick, because you know it's a one-time exit. I mean, you lose, you're gone. I mean, it's over with. So
You have to elevate.
yeah.
Okay.
And
All right.
you know, McNeese has been a team that, like you say, Rick, has always been on the cusp of being able to be that great team. But for them to get to that point, Rick, they're going to have to get past these type games,
Of course,
to advance.
I mean,
to
and
be that team that we know they can beat.
I would like, because like I said, I saw a familiar theme of the playoffs.
What'd you
that,
see?
well, then it looked like the far better team won. So I would like to say, well, you know, McNeese was a seeded team. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, you know, is the Southern Conference way overrated? Well, the Southern Conference had a team in the finals,
Yeah.
2 of the last 3 years.
2 years. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think that's the case.
No, I don't think so.
So
either. I don't think
I
so
know
either.
I normally have all the answers, but I'm a little
And you-
dumbfounded on
and the
this
thing
one.
We
that gets
all
me to
are.
Rick-
We all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Theodore,
Kinda dumbfounded, to be
to his
honest.
credit,
Well-
opened up his post game and said, "I'm at a loss for words. I can't find." You know, I'm paraphrasing, but he can't find the reasoning
Yeah.
why
I mean,
they come out and lay an egg.
I was
and play
kidding.
and
I
play
was
bad.
I was kidding.
And-
I would assume, you know, McNeese played a lot better. You know, in their previous games. But
They
you know,
did. They
you know,
have,
why,
yes.
why lay an egg here?
And-
Yeah.
I mean, how much? I guess you give Jacksonville State some
Oh,
credit.
you got to give them a lot of
I
credit.
mean, it
And I'll
almost looked
bring up
like,
one
you know,
key
they
point.
went down the McNeese schedule and like, oh, this team held them to 7.
Yep.
Let's see what they did.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
this
course.
team
Oh,
held
I'm
them.
sure they did.
But
sure
I
they
guess
did.
when you
But I
look
mean,
back at
from what I saw, you know, I know it's dangerous when I get into X's and O's.
No.
You got to
But
get
they-
an X's and O's in this game. You got to.
But they, I mean, it looked like they had one guy deep, and the other 10 were right up there at the line. They got one guy deep to make sure they didn't get beat deep. I mean, Mr. X and O Genius B figured out what they were doing there.
All right, let me open it up here, Kevin. Look, again, when Jacksonville came in, you know, I wouldn't say I peppered them, but I really kept driving the point home to their players and their coach after the game about their defense and about their pass coverage. And Bill Clark said it all started with their defense. And they play man press coverage, and they do it well. And you saw the resulting of that.
And Rick,
that man coverage, it looked like the Saints and Seahawks every time Stroud.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did. No, listen.
How many passes?
to that,
Wait a
Rick,
minute,
to a
wait a
degree.
minute.
No. Let me finish.
You gotta
every
realize,
time
guys.
Stroud threw to a receiver, he had a man on him. There was no
Let me tell
separation.
you.
There was no
Wait a
one
minute.
open. Against
Look,
the
you
Seahawks,
are-
there was no
look.
separation and no one open.
Against the
They did-
Seahawks, true. But how many passes did McNeese drop?
That's
you 10?
You
9?
won't let me finish.
10?
You won't let
Okay.
me finish. The press coverage was a factor in this entire game, man-to-man coverage, because to your point, they could load up the box and stop the run. They stopped the pass first, and then they stopped the run
you're
second.
exactly right.
And then what else did it open up? All these gaps for the blitzes
Yeah.
and all the sacks started
11
happening
sacks.
because they got behind on the chains.
And
yes, Kevin, my point to you is they had 9 drops, catchable balls.
Yeah.
But guess what? There was always a man right on their back. It was
And that's
still
a cause
tight
for that,
coverage.
Rick. There's a
Stroud,
reason for that.
Stroud would put the ball at times on their hands, but they would drop the ball.
I
And
did-
that's
I
how they
did-
lost
I-
the game,
I-
right there.
well,
I'm sorry, that's how they
And
lost
Stroud
the game.
held on the ball too long.
He
two
did.
times
Yeah.
for
He
some
did
of the
indeed.
sacks.
Yes,
and
he did.
you know,
That many
you got to
sacks,
give that
You know why?
to the
Because there was
coverage.
nobody
But that's
open.
coverage.
to the
That's
coverage.
cover sacks.
But
Cover
he
sacks.
threw some
That's
good
cover sacks.
passes that should have
He
been
did.
caught.
He
too.
did indeed.
A lot of good passes.
did indeed.
that
Many
It's
of
just
those
when you
drops
look
are
at it,
very
guys,
catchable.
an overall picture, you say to yourself,
It might have-
you know, McNeese had the chance that this would have been the year with the people they had in place to advance. I mean, you don't know what the upcoming years are going to bring. When you look back at Barb, I mean, how are you going to find a Fontenot
And that kind of
and a
tandem
Quinn
again.
to be
To
back
your
like
point,
that again?
and that's
so,
why-
So you've got to make the most of those
Well,
You're right.
situations
does
when you
have
get
the
them.
advantage. They can go recruit.
They can go
one.
recruit.
They can find those guys.
Yeah, but
Look,
just to have something in place that quick to make a move, you got to take advantage
here's
of it.
the ripple effect, in my humble opinion. The man-on-man coverage shut
Yeah.
down the passing route.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
and
no
there were
doubt,
some
Rick.
guys. You're right. There were some catchable balls, and with that, they could load up the box a little bit, and they had those guys shooting in the gaps. And they just stopped the run. They stopped Bennett to a large degree and Wiltz to a large degree. They couldn't find Nick Jacobs at all.
No.
At all. They couldn't get him factored in the game. And then, yes, Stroud was pressed. Second
And
and
that's what
12,
does that.
second and 14, he held
If
the ball
you-
too long, and all of a sudden you got 11
And a
sacks.
lot of those things, Rick, that timing routes that they were running that McNeese normally runs underneath and stuff like that, when you've got somebody in your face, that's taken away.
It's taken away. So there was a lot of X's and O's factors in this game. We're going to get into the emotional part of it. And yes, a lot of it goes on the players. But yes, I think the coaching staff, they got to wake up and look at themselves in the mirror and figure out their game planning and why they haven't pressed that right button yet
and the thing
in
is,
postseason play.
you know,
Because
we
they haven't pressed the right
We'll get
button.
Well, we
into
will
it.
too,
I know
we
we
will too, 'cause I
can't
know
go
what you
much
wanna
farther,
talk
but
about, Scoop.
further. But why is the game planning different for a playoffs? It's still a football game.
We'll go into that. I
It's
got
a
some
different
thoughts
level
on
of
that.
playing.
You got the
I got
answer?
some.
It's-
I don't
it's a
have all
different
the
level of
answers,
playing.
but I got
I
an
get that
opinion,
part.
and that's what we're here
It's
for.
a different
All right,
level
we
of
got a lot
playing.
to cover. BCS, SEC back in the title game. Auburn Tigers, team of destiny.
Can you
This is a
believe
team
that?
of destiny.
Can you
We'll go
believe it?
into that, and we got a lot of NFL Saints with a big win in the Superdome last night. I thought they broke the doggone noise. I was there, and it was
No,
loud.
they
guys.
didn't. No,
I'm
Seattle
like
was
this.
much louder.
I'm like this the whole night.
Seattle
in the
was
stadium.
much louder.
We're coming back to Jack Daniels in 2. Stay right here.
Sound Off 60 is brought to you by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort.
Philip, you guys have been here for 4 years. Why is Tarver Ford doing so well?
Judge, we have a great team with a great passion to win every customer that gives us a chance. Our people are enthusiastic and prepared, our inventory is busted at the seams, and we're discounting prices and giving good money for trades to make deals happen.
Well, it must be working because I see the blue Tarver Ford tags everywhere. But how do you keep customers?
We want customers for life. So at Tarver Ford, every new vehicle includes complimentary lifetime oil changes.
Let us show you how a great team serves its customers a first-class experience.
At Tarver Ford, exit 21 Sulphur.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Hey, can we get around to Miller Lite?
Sorry, just ran out. Something else?
Come on, really?
But what if one of your crew is Chuck Liddell?
Hello? Hey. We don't have a reservation.
Right this way. Welcome. Welcome. Sure wish we could play.
Here you go. There. Thanks. We'd like to use flash photography.
That's not a problem.
We'd like to ride a dolphin. We'd love to stay closer.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Brett Casio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Casio is the official sports medicine physician of Sound Off 60. All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels here at L'Auberge. It's going to be fun and happy times here on December 25th and December 26th. Homegrown comedy returns to Jack Daniels with Jen Kober. She's coming back for just two nights, Christmas night and the next day.
That's a
I
working
saw her
lady, man.
recently in
Christmas
Lake
night.
Charles at a function. She put on a show, and it's got a lot of new stuff. Had the place rolling and rocking. She's looking forward. She's saying, have the black guy remind me that you guys want me on the show the Monday before Christmas. Have the black guy. She knows your name, but
I'll
she
make
was
sure
just kidding.
to miss that one.
We got to have her back on. She
will
mentioned
miss that
she's in
one.
a new movie that's at theaters now.
Yes.
It's called Grudge Match with Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro, believe it or not. Now, it doesn't look like a
Stallone and De Niro?
De Niro. It's a boxing movie.
I mean, they got a lot of big people. They got Kevin Hart. I mean, he's on top right now, so that's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, she mentioned that she's in that movie. So if you're at the holiday theaters, look for Jen Kober. I think her role is she's in the stands and she's heckling De Niro, calling him fat and old and something like that. You got to check it out. Homegrown comedy returns to Jack Daniels Christmas night and the next day. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, guys, we got a lot to cover. With the BCS now, all the bowls, LSU going back to Florida for their bowl game. Yeah. We'll get into that as the show progresses.
We was hoping for Dallas, though, but we didn't get Dallas.
Hope for Dallas. No, it's not the Cotton Bowl. All right, back to McNeese. 0 for 9 third down conversions. Here's some more numbers. in the first half. They didn't get a third down conversion until midway third quarter. 11 sacks, about 9 drops, less than 60 yards in rushing, no passing game, no special teams contribution. It was one thing after another, and 2 INTs that led to touchdowns. Not just touchdowns now, first play after the interception. That's how quick it was. Interception, bam, touchdown by the Gamecocks. Another one, bam, touchdown. And that'll get you in a hole, gentlemen. That'll get you in a hole.
And you're so right, Rick. And the thing about it, a lot of times when you see these type things starting to play out as players, you start wondering, oh, is it going back to that? But there wasn't but 2 players that may have gone through something like this in years past. So that perception couldn't have been there. But the thing that you look at when you see those things happening is that the fans sometimes, when you look at it, can play a big part in the success.
We're going to get into that.
Of a team.
We're going to get into that. It was
I'm not pointing the fingers at anybody, but you've got to have
no,
that
we can
support.
point fingers. No, we can point fingers.
You've got to have that support.
It was a lousy, pathetic attendance for this game.
I can believe that.
Lousy. And let's wait on that. Let's tease them. We're going to wait on
that. This is a playoff. This is a playoff game.
Okay.
I want to get, but I still want to know.
What? Go ahead.
All right. McNeese came in this game 10-2. Very good record.
Yeah.
Good
but
record.
Neither one of their 2 and now 3 losses were really close.
No.
So this whole game planning thing you keep going to, when their game plan didn't work, it blew up spectacularly.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me.
Why are you posing to me?
Well, you keep saying.
Why were you posing to Gidry?
Well, what's your point, though?
I'll answer you. I'll answer.
Is it just a coincidence this happened to be a bad game plan? I don't know. What is different about a playoff game plan?
Here's what I think. I've never game planned a football game. This is just a humble media guy opinion.
Yeah.
I don't
That's what
buy
we're here
into.
for.
I know that. I don't buy into the constant fact of you just got to do what you do and do it well, and then how you're going to win a game.
No, I don't
like
buy into that either, Rick. I don't. I'll tell you why.
Well, if you're going to do that, you better be a lot better than everybody.
You better do it well.
You better be.
Here's the key thing. And I keep harping on this man press coverage. Because I think it was critical in how Jacksonville was able to win this game. If you see that on film, then you better be prepared to beat the man coverage, which in a way they were with the drops, but they did drop the ball. What I'd like to see is, yes, continue to do that, but you're going to have to find certain formations and certain plays to get them uncomfortable with maybe men in motion,
Rick,
putting guys in different positions. That's what I mean by different game planning. And here's the wrinkle, I think. Here's the wrinkle. You've got to have, and Viator has it in his repertoire, you've got to come out with maybe 1 or 2 plays or a formation that no one has ever seen.
Plays, Rick, you got to. You have to.
I was waiting for the halfback option, guys.
You have to.
I was waiting for a halfback option, but it didn't come.
When you look at this
kind
game,
of he loves to fiddle around with the X's.
I know that.
He's got a
But he got
plays.
behind early.
Rick, and the thing
they
is
had no rhythm. They got behind early.
When you have a team such as Jacksonville that'll come in, and I say Scooter said they had 2 weeks to prepare, but it's a different ball game when you're looking at a game such as that. And this is the thing, out of all the games that we've watched with Cody Stroud, what is the maximum amount of times he may have gotten sacked? Twice?
He was sacked 14 times up until this game.
Okay,
but 14 times.
But in
where
each
does
game,
that come from?
But we're averaging each game, though. Maybe what, 2, 3? That's my point, Rick. That's my point.
Yeah.
And they sacked him how many times?
11.
That pressure. That's the key, Rick. They knew if they could get to him, the timing would be
Why didn't
off.
anybody
That's
else
unfair.
do that?
I don't know.
That's unfair. That's unfair. That's unfair because
but
they
Rick,
were covered sacks. They were blitz sacks. They were behind the chain sacks. When this team is, and Viator admitted it, and I know it. I watch it. This is not a 3rd down and 15 type team. They can't face 3rd and 15 and bam, get 15 yards. Right. They're not that way.
And
they're not that way.
Credit all the catches that should have been caught that were missed, dropped by the receivers.
They all dropped.
But when you look at the amount of pressure, something should have been changed. 11 sacks, you got to change up something. I mean,
good point. I would think Dylan Long,
maybe
maybe the big 34, stay back and help protect.
You got to change up something. 11 sacks in one game. Somebody made All-American in that game.
Well, they got they had some nose tackles. They had some nose tackles, and they had a girth. They looked like Rob Ryan.
Well, how about that running
A couple
back?
of nose tackles. Oh, he's big below, too. But those nose tackles were out to here, and they were nimble. I mean, they were getting to him.
I think it was just a different breed that McNeese came across with Jackson. It was just a different breed. They hadn't seen that before, man. It was just different, Rick.
I don't know.
That's
you
the
know,
only thing I can answer with. It was
I
just
see your
different.
point, Hobbs, but I counter it with the coaching, the present staff. They'll learn from. They got to find the buttons and how to press those buttons in these kind of games. And I'm not saying go completely against off the grid.
No,
you can't do that, obviously. But you've got to come out with something
Rick,
a little different in a different corner. And
look,
they may
you have
have.
to. Look.
They may have. I mean, I didn't see it.
I looked at it before the game, but after the game, after seeing how dominant almost Jacksonville State was, I went back through their schedule, and I just didn't see that kind of team. What was I missing?
Jacksonville or McNeese?
Jacksonville.
That made them look like they would have dominated McNeese that much.
Yeah.
That's what Scooter's saying. And you know what, guys? When you say off the grid, this is
the
what
freshman
you do.
quarterback.
I'm going to give you an example. When you say off the grid, remember the Alabama and the Auburn game? When Auburn had Alabama backed up on the 2, it was the 1. When they threw a bum,
it wasn't third, it was first.
First down.
That's off the grid, Rick. Because you
for
don't
Alabama.
expect it. Because you don't expect
Well, I
it.
disagree with you. That's not off the grid. You're going to do one of two things there. You're going to run up the middle or throw it deep. Nothing in between.
No, I don't know about that. That's a big chance right
Oh,
there.
you see teams throw it deep all the time.
Yeah, but
not
you figure,
everybody.
well, if it's intercepted,
not
it's a
everybody.
punt.
Not everybody.
In your words,
Not everybody.
A.J. McCarron is a game manager. Maybe he should just throw a little 8-yard flare out. You are nuts. You're going to run up the middle and throw long.
Scooter.
You throw a little.
You're going to do one of the two.
No, you're not. You got a lot of options at the 1.
How many
I
times
say it's not unusual. I mean, if I don't know why we're getting off track here.
No.
But if you push the team back to the 1-yard line and I'm a defensive coordinator, I'd say you better not get beat because that's what they're about to do to you.
Oh my gosh, Hobbs.
Artie Parker never told you
No, he
that?
did. He did. But look, Hobbs, when you look back at that, how many times you could actually see that LSU did that? Nope. Wouldn't do it. Not gonna do it.
I got you. I got you covered.
Not gonna do it. Won't do it.
I got you covered.
No.
All
You're
right,
lucky the
that's
guy
off the grid.
saw a 99-yard quarterback sneak, though.
That's
It's a high school game.
We're up against the clock. We're going to get on
wanna talk some more
McNeese's
about
game
that,
attendance.
And we feel
look,
bad for the
it didn't
Cowboys,
decide
man.
this game,
We feel bad
but
for
it
the
was a
Cowboys.
factor in this game. I mean, I don't know. They said 5,036 paid.
That's not right.
I don't think there were 5,036 in the stadium.
Cold out there.
Cold.
Cold out
You
there.
got to support your team.
Ta-ta.
You have to support
All right,
your
up
team.
against the clock. When we
Cold.
come back, it's the Auburn
to support
Tigers
your
and the
Cowboys.
Seminoles of Florida State in the BCS title game. LSU's going to Tampa to take on the Hawkeyes in the Outback. We'll get into that and so much more when we come back to Jack.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford, Beglis Parkway in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
Choosing your doctors and healthcare professionals is an important and personal decision, and one that you should feel totally comfortable with. Hello, I'm Dr. Trisa Guidry, and I'd like to welcome you to our clinic, where your health and well-being is our top priority. I'm a board-certified OBGYN and a graduate of LSU. My dedicated staff and I would like to invite you to call for a consultation and appointment. You will experience the trust, comfort, and medical treatments you deserve. We are Dr. Trisa Guidry.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels here at L'Auberge Casino. We've covered a couple of segments of the McNeese Cowboys. Later in the show, we'll give everybody's opinion on the turnout on a very chilly, bitterly, I say bitter cold. It was cold. It was cold.
Yeah, it was cold, Rick.
It was cold,
and
but not that cold.
No, not that
not
cold.
that cold.
We'll
talk about game attendance and the pathetic turnout for this.
If
for
this
this
was a
FCS
regular
playoff
season game, maybe you could say, well, I understand.
Playoff. You need
this
them.
playoff,
I
you
would
got to
have
be
thought
there.
they'd have sucked it
You
up.
got to be there.
You need them. All right. I didn't think, look, we talked about it. You actually said it. Michigan State would beat Ohio State. That game could have been gone either way, obviously. So Ohio State loses, and now it's Michigan State in the Rose Bowl and opens the door for the Auburn Tigers, and rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully
I
so.
totally agree.
Come on.
But look,
And
let me
I
say
will
this.
not
And let
disagree,
me say
but I
this.
will say this. As of Saturday night, as soon as that last game was over, my only, and I'm not arguing, I think they got it right. Auburn and Florida State, obviously
No,
Florida
that's no
State.
doubt he's right about that, too.
But shouldn't Michigan State have at least been in the discussion?
Don't start that,
No.
Scooter. Scooter, don't start that.
Oh, that's a pretty good team.
No.
I've
start
taped
that.
that
Scooter.
game and watched it.
Look,
Scooter.
Auburn beat Alabama. They knocked off the heavyweight champ.
That was your number one, right?
And then they won this shootout with a very good, number 5 Missouri?
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah.
Michigan State ranked? Where was Michigan State ranked when they beat Ohio State?
They wasn't even in the 5. They were
10.
Yeah,
Okay.
they wasn't in the 5.
So you got to play by the rules.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, Michigan State lost one game to a bad Notre Dame team. As I understand it, it was the BS call that got them beat.
Okay.
But that's how close they are to being unbeaten. I'm not arguing for Michigan State. I'm just saying they should be in the discussion.
It's
and
just
I hate to be the old BCS hanging around.
Here we go. Go ahead.
But thank goodness this isn't next year, because you would have yourself an argument about that number 4 spot.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, you would.
Of course.
You better believe
yes.
it.
A lot, I don't think too many people are arguing. Although, while we're on the subject here, this was a theme of some show I was watching this morning when I woke up. And I was like, well, yeah, but everybody knows Alabama's the best team in the country. Vegas says Alabama would be favored. Oh, wait a minute, these are the same people that have been saying for years, let's decide it on the field.
On the field.
Well, that's what they did.
Yeah, that's right.
Alabama lost.
Scooter, I agree.
That's right.
They did, Scooter. They
That's
did.
right.
They may be 10 points better than Auburn, but they had a chance to show it.
Not that day.
Yeah.
Not that day.
But this is the thing that gets me, guys. When you look, I just wanted to have an SEC team in for the championship game. I don't care what do you call it.
Right.
Bama was going to be the one that was going to probably be the one. But to see Auburn come along like that, hallelujah!
And
well, while we're on it,
I am happy. Okay,
I want to see. Of course, everybody has. It's not hard to figure out who the top 4. You got to remember, it's a committee, not these computers that are going to do it next year. But if we had 4 teams based on the BCS formula, well, your first round game would be Auburn, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I would just hope, the committee will have the leeway or the competitive license, I guess you could say.
Good words.
To, avoid at least recent rematch as best you can. I think you ought to keep conference teams from playing.
That's going to be interesting.
I know,
Yeah,
but I don't think, and and if technically you could say this team should have been 3 and this one's 4, well, if you flip-flop them to avoid something like that, I got no problem.
Well, but see, you're getting ahead. All that's going to play out next year.
Now that's what we love to argue about.
That's right. Seminoles and Tigers for the national championship game. We all agree it's a good matchup.
It's a good matchup.
LSU in Tampa for the Outback Bowl against Iowa. Something stuck in my head. You reported on it. Iowa, but it wasn't. It was actually the Capital One Bowl when Nick Saban lost on the last second.
It was Nick Saban's last game.
Yeah, his last year.
And it was
Hawkeyes were sticking in my head.
A coverage breakdown of biblical proportions.
Biblical. I remember the play.
I mean, I
Last
forget
second.
who the poor defensive back was that blew it.
Scooter.
But that was the last
think they all
memory.
played it in
That
NFL.
was LSU's last memory of Nick Saban.
Yeah.
No, the one
In
that
the
blew the
NFL.
coverage didn't.
Okay,
but,
look.
all right,
LSU's
dude.
9-3. Okay, everybody wanted a Cotton Bowl, but it's going to be Missouri and Oklahoma State.
They're 9-3 team. They got as good as they could hope.
Yeah, I think so, Kevin.
I do.
You're not thrilled
I was
about going to Tampa Bay,
I was
huh?
hoping for Dallas, baby, but
There's nothing wrong with going to Tampa.
I was hoping for
No,
Dallas.
no.
Tampa's nice. Tampa's nice.
So
But Dallas
it's
would
a
have
New
been
Year's
much
Day Bowl,
nicer,
isn't it?
Huh?
Outback? New Year's Day?
Outback.
Yeah, New Year's Day.
New Year's Day,
yeah.
and the Cotton
January
is
1st.
probably, what, a January 4 Bowl or something like
3
that?
or 4.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't like
the
the way
Cotton
they've
Bowl,
done the Cotton.
because it's the Cowboy Stadium. It has a
Yeah.
bit more of a lure.
Yeah, it does.
You know, it's
You know
coming back.
that.
The Cotton
You know
Bowl's
that.
Well, the
coming
Cotton
back.
Bowl will be a BCS Bowl next
Yes.
year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which it deserves to be.
It does. I agree with you on
Cotton
that.
Bowl
I
is a
agree.
good
All right.
bowl.
Whatever it
The
is,
latest with the Bayou Bengals, Zach Mettenberger, he's gone. He's out.
He's done. Yeah, he's
ACL
done.
tear, ACL or
Yeah.
MCL? What's the final verdict? I think it's ACL.
But the other was sprained.
Yeah. All right. So
MCL
he's going to have surgery. He's going to be out for the year.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to Anthony Jennings quickly. This is a guy looking toward the NFL draft. So he won't be able to work out. He'll be rehabbing.
Well, they're
It's gonna
saying
be
by
interesting.
LSU's pro day he may be okay.
Really?
That's a serious injury.
He
That's
won't
a
be able to go to
serious
the combine. I mean, he can go to the
Yeah, he can go to
combine,
the combine,
for
but-
the interviews,
Oh,
but he
okay,
can't
yeah.
work out.
He can't participate.
Obviously, but they're saying by LSU's Pro Bowl in late March he might
Well,
actually be.
look,
able to
they got
work
his
out.
body of work. Okay,
They did.
Especially this
I'm
year,
happy
they got a
for him.
body
I
of
mean,
work
he
for him.
kid.
So we'll see how
Speaking
that
of
works
which,
out.
Get a
talk about
chance.
this goes to your A.J. McCarron. Give me an idea of what kind of quarterbacks there were. The All-SEC team came out today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also today, A.J. McCarron wins the Johnny Unitas Award for the country's best quarterback.
Go ahead. I'm just.
Wait a minute, Rick. Wait. Let's
just making my point.
He made honorable mention All-SEC.
Who's the best quarterback in the SEC?
Then they named 3 of them honorable mention.
I don't care.
McCarron, Mettenberger, and Nick Marshall from Auburn.
Yeah.
Manziel was first team, and Aaron Murray of Georgia was second team. And that doesn't even bring in, I'm drawing a blank, but the South Carolina quarterback.
Yeah.
I would have voted
Connor
him.
Shaw, I think his name is.
Yeah, Connor Shaw. Yeah.
Man.
Franklin's not bad at
That's pretty
Missouri.
good company, though.
Franklin's
That's
not
Franklin
bad.
at Missouri. Bo at Ole
Bo
Miss.
Wallace?
Bo
Yeah,
Wallace
okay,
at
all
Ole
right.
Miss. I mean,
A.J. McCarron's
pretty
best
good
quarterback in
company,
the SEC.
you know.
He's got 2 national championships. All right,
You know
Sugar
Manziel
Bowl,
was gonna be the
Alabama,
ticket,
Oklahoma. We'll get into this a little. Good matchup. I like
That's
this.
a good matchup, yeah.
Rose Bowl's going to be
Alabama
interesting with
kill
Stanford and
Oklahoma.
Michigan
Kill 'em, won't be
State.
close.
Baylor and Central Florida.
Yeah, who
Florida
thought
came
that
out
one
nowhere.
up?
Central Florida. When
Central
I was in
Florida
Florida
came out.
covering
Actually not
sports,
a bad team.
no, it isn't a bad team. But they were like, guys, Central Florida, what are they, the Golden Knights or something?
Yeah.
They were really far
Isn't
down
that where
on the
Culpepper's
radar.
from?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Again, Guidry comes through.
I was
Dante
just-
Culpepper.
hey.
He might be that most.
We are worldwide, 365 and 24/7 at soundoff60.com. Soundoff 60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Back after this break.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Cassio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Cassio is the official sports medicine physician of Soundoff 60.
Philip, you guys have been here for 4 years. Why is Tarver Ford doing so well?
Judge, we have a great team with a great passion to win every customer that gives us a chance. Our people are enthusiastic and prepared, our inventory is busted at the seams, and we're discounting prices and giving good money for trades to make deals happen.
Well, it must be working because I see the blue Tarver Ford tags everywhere. But how do you keep customers?
We want customers for life. So at Tarver Ford, every new vehicle includes complimentary lifetime oil changes.
Let us show you how a great team serves its customers a first-class experience.
At Tarver Ford, exit 21 Sulphur.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Hey, can we get around to Miller Lite?
Sorry, just ran out. Something else?
Come on, really?
But what if one of your crew is Chuck Liddell?
Hello? We don't have a reservation. Right this way. Welcome. Welcome. Sure wish we could play. Here you go. There. Thanks. We'd like to use flash photography.
That's not a problem.
We'd like to ride a dolphin. We'd love to sit closer.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels here at L'Auberge Casino. Don't forget, it's homegrown comedy at Jack Daniels, December 25th. That would be Christmas night. And December 26th.
Yep.
Jen Kober comes back with a great comedy show, and it's a barrel of monkeys full of laughs and all that kind of jolly. It'll be a happy time here because she's got some great stuff.
She wants you to be here.
I'll try and miss that.
We need to get her on that money. She said, we got to
She
remind her,
had me
get her in
and
here,
Stitch
have
when
some
we
fun.
had her on
She's
the
in
show,
that
man.
new
She had me
movie,
and Stitch.
Grudge Match with Stallone and De Niro, about
That's
some
gonna be
old
funny.
boxers. getting
That's
back
gonna be
into
funny.
the ring and that whole thing. All right, guys, I was at the Superdome last night. I sat there most of the game like this. It was loud. They had the white towels going. They had the big things flashing. Break the noise record. Break the noise. Huh? I don't care. It was loud. It was very loud. Look, it was a stinker in Seattle. This was after our show or during our show last week. They got skunked by the Seahawks. Again, great coverage team in the secondary.
I agree with you. I have never seen a team defense, the Peyton Breeze Saints, like they did. I mean, there was nobody open all night.
It's that triangle defense, Kevin, that every time Breeze went to somebody, it seemed like it looked like two Seahawks were always around the ball.
But if you want to fast forward real quick, there was one big difference, though. And I don't know if this is – everybody wants to talk – I'm not buying into the Saints can't play in halfway bad weather. Nothing like – nobody can play in some of the others we saw.
We saw over the weekend.
Talk about
Detroit, Philly,
But I'm not buying into it's got to be 72 degrees indoors for the Saints. But if there was one difference in the number one, when Drew Brees gets in a rhythm like he was in against the Panthers, I mean that's like watching an artist work.
You're right.
It really is. And I don't know how you stop. But what got that going to me to a degree was one big difference from that Seahawks game to this game with the Panthers. I don't know if you'd call them drops, like McNeese.
Right.
But they weren't making any unusual catches, in traffic.
Right.
It was almost, he almost had that one. Oh, they were doing that
But
again
if
last
you remember,
night.
Scooter,
and gosh, was it good to see Marcus Colston back.
When he and Breeze can connect, they're hard to beat.
Because Colston's been kind of quiet this year.
Yes.
You know, he's kind of like
he's had big games.
And
he's had big games.
It is, other than Breeze, obviously, I'm starting to think the key to this whole team is Darren Sproles. I mean,
Scooter, this little kid, he's
other than Breeze.
That's
other
strong.
than Breeze.
But Rick, I know what Scooter's saying because let me tell you, Rick, Scooter makes a good point. And you know me and Scooter, we divide on things a lot of times. Sproles, Rick, this kid runs up the middle.
Yeah. I'm talking
he
about
runs up the middle.
Maybe,
he can catch out the backfield. He can catch down the
if
field.
you got to go,
that's
other
threat,
than
Rick.
Breeze, obviously, but if you would have to be missing one offensive skill player, I think Sproles is the one you got to keep.
I'm telling you.
I disagree.
Rick,
Go ahead.
Even maybe.
Rick, look at all the functions that this guy
does. Special teams,
punt return.
punt return.
Rick,
I understand that.
Rick, every time he touches the ball, there's a threat that he could take it
How
all
many
the way.
touchdowns did Jimmy Graham have? 2. How many touchdowns did Marcus Colston have?
I think it would be
It's
between
Colston.
them.
It's a Colston-Graham.
Yeah, but who got the whole thing going?
Who gets it
in this game? In this game.
You can't count him out.
But
You
how
can't
many
count him out, Rick.
games is
I
that
have to say
now?
this.
This game.
And I
Let me
know
just
it's
say
a
this.
tough call with Jimmy Graham.
It is.
But
it is. But Rick,
if I got to choose, I'm keeping Sproles and maybe
think about
Jimmy
what you're
Graham.
saying now,
had
Rick.
I know what I'm saying. I
Think
know what
about
I'm
it,
saying.
Rick.
Look, and on the
Think about
other
it now.
side, okay, the Panthers come down. What do they hold them to? Early field goals. That was wins, guys. This defense, it's not going to wow anybody.
No.
Okay, but they're
it's starting to wow me.
They're consistently.
I was just,
defense.
we talked about, about Breeze's artistry, but I was just impressed with their defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
when you can make the right calls,
239 yards for Cam Newton total offense.
You can make the right calls now, folks in the right place. It can look really nice.
Yeah. All right. So a statement win at the Dome, loud crowd, sold out stadium, the whole bit. And I saw various Panther fans, and even Ron Rivera said it after the game. It was like, okay, we got to play. Holding up 2. We got another one coming up. So,
and it seems like every year it's either the Falcons,
it's a week
one
apart.
of the division opponents.
It's a week apart.
They're going to play twice in December. It seems like. I don't understand.
That's crazy.
There's got to be a way not to.
They got to go play.
I don't know. This may play out okay.
I mean,
this may play out okay.
Look at this. I mean, theoretically, the Saints and Panthers could be meeting in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That'd be 3 games in
right.
the span of about 5 weeks.
You're right about that, sir. Saints got St. Louis this weekend inside in the Dome, and then they go to Carolina. Hopefully this cold snap will get out of the way, and it'll be decent enough weather. Here's where I disagree with you on this. Look, the numbers bear it out. The Saints on a dry turf, I'm talking about in the Dome or in any kind of dome, this is a timing team. And they are better when they are indoors at 72 degrees on a dry turf. There's no 2 ways about it.
But Rick.
But I agree with you to a degree. They can play outside. They have played well outside.
But let me tell you,
But on a slippery field, they're not as quick and good.
Rick.
It's on a slippery field.
But Rick, let me just say this. The one thing that I was seeing teams with, I think it was a year ago, I think the Rams came in, they were like, had played 8 games and only won 1 and beat the Saints.
Beat the Saints.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you find teams that can pressure Drew Brees, whether it's warm or cold, it's going to be problems.
You always got to find a fly in the ointment.
No,
you always got to find.
Am I right about that?
But you were looking at it. Did you realize this about the Panthers? They hadn't given up more than 2 touchdowns in a single game all year.
It's a good defense.
And the Saints scored 3 in the second quarter.
Okay. Statement win.
These weren't turnovers.
Enough.
Those drives,
we got to go to
those
break.
drives were 80, 70.
You can't justify the Seahawks' bad weather that cost the Saints to do what he did. I don't buy it.
I'm with you there.
We're up against the break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Cowboy Stadium, the turnout for the FCS playoff game, that and more when we come back to Jack. Stay right here.
Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort, home of Sound Off 60, and Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
Philip, you guys have been here for 4 years. Why is Tarver Ford doing so well?
Judge, we have a great team with a great passion to win every customer that gives us a chance. Our people are enthusiastic and prepared, our inventory is busted at the seams, and we're discounting prices and giving good money for trades to make deals happen.
Well, it must be working because I see the blue Tarver Ford tags everywhere. But how do you keep customers?
We want customers for life. So at Tarver Ford, every new vehicle includes complimentary lifetime oil changes.
Let us show you how a great team serves its customers a first-class experience.
At Tarver Ford, exit 21, Sulphur.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels. Glad to have you around on this evening or this morning, whatever show you may watching us here.
Yes.
That sound off 60. All right, guys, paid attendance at Cowboy Stadium this past weekend for the first round or second round with the bye of the FCS playoffs. They announced it at 5,036 paid attendance. It was talked about after the game with Viator and Stroud and Agata in regard after the loss. Look, these guys were extremely emotional. Viator said not a dry eye in the locker room. You could see it in Matt's eyes. You could see it with Stroud. You could see it in all of the guys. They ended this raw emotion. How much work you put in all year and to lose like that. Rick, and in front of a meager, pathetic turnout of a crowd.
And let me say this, Rick. Two reasons, because I went through that. That will probably be the last game for a lot of those guys.
Yes.
That walked into that locker room for the very last time.
That's tough.
Plus,
you know that.
You want to have your fans. It's a home game. It's a home. Now, if they had to travel, Rick, that's totally understandable. But you're at home, you have to turn out.
You get a first-round bye, and you achieve the first-round bye to play at home to get the home field advantage.
Unacceptable, Rick. That's
and
just
a turf is a turf, but it's nice to play on your own turf, and you don't have to travel, but you got to hit people in the stands.
They got no energy. I'm going to assume McNeese has been one of the better draws of the Southern Conference.
Yes, they have.
Of FCS football. You know my feelings. I'm not jumping on fans.
They don't have to come. It's not.
It is an entertainment option, not a civic duty.
I know.
Just like whether if you don't go to the movies, or are you not supporting the local theaters? No, it's an entertainment
But you
option.
know what, Scooter?
Let me finish. But it is kind of strange that, after not being in the playoffs for a few years, the only thing I can say is the weather. The only suggestion I would make to McNeese, they knew this weather was coming from Tuesday on.
Yeah.
Right? Use it to your advantage. Get people to talk about. We're going to bundle up. Let's,
Exactly, Scooter, I agree.
Get it out there. Put some cold weather related things. Hell, put an ice rink in the
Here's the key
parking lot.
I mentioned when it was announced, new athletic director Bruce Hemphill.
Yeah.
We had a talk somewhat off to the side, and this is again my opinion. I know a thing or two about marketing, but I said, Bruce, don't assume anything. You've got to promote this game. This was just me talking. You got to promote this game, and they said, and the response was, we are and we will. I'm sure they're strong to the NCAA standards or whatever they can do, but you've got to get the word out, and I don't think they got the word out strong enough in the sense of the message. Cowboy fans, we need you.
Yeah.
You know, you got to advertise. You got to promote this.
People knew it.
I know it, but you can't
like
assume. But you can't. My point was,
I mean, it is strange to me.
You can't depend on the media. You can't just depend
I guess
on the
that was
American
their
press.
smallest crowd of the year.
It's pitiful.
Yeah.
For a playoff game. Now, you know, I understand. You know, if you had season tickets, that wasn't any good. You still had to.
And look,
I don't know exactly how that worked.
$25.
No, I'm not talking about the money. I'm just talking about the physical act of
you have to
having
buy
to
tickets.
purchase a ticket.
That's right.
I
That's
don't
right.
think the money kept anybody.
Kevin, how much of a lack of energy and spark do you think this
takes it out you as a player? Because when you look up there, you're saying you've accomplished something throughout all the games you played for this year to see how the people that know and love you will respond. And when you see that, apparently it wasn't good. Apparently it wasn't good. All the work that you said when you put in, you want to see that reflected
I feel
in
bad
those
for them.
stands.
I feel
You want to see
bad
that
for the
reflected
players.
because they had a hell of a
just
year, a hell of a season.
I'm not going to beat the fans over the head, though.
I can't
if they wanted to come, they would have come.
But why wouldn't they want to come?
I'm at a loss for that, too.
Now, look, what if
it was cold?
What if the Cowboys?
It was cold. I know that was cold.
Just this, what the Cowboys would have had another 500 year. You know what the fans would have said? Boy, we would love to go to a playoff game.
I know.
You see? So how do you win?
How do you win?
How do you win?
And, you know, look, the players and Coach Viator, you know, they took the standpoint of control what we can control.
Bad, though, but it's bad.
And
you need
we can't control what fans
you
do. And it was, you know, it was very, very much the hands-off on the subject.
I disagree when you say you can't control what fans do. Tell it to Nick Saban.
Well, yeah, you can come out and start.
Tell it to Nick Saban, okay?
But this ain't Alabama.
Man,
this
Nick
is
Saban
not Alabama. And look, I don't want to identify the Cowboy fans as fair weather. It only has to be, you know, 70 degrees or 85 degrees to go to the game. But you've got to have some passion. You've got to have some passion.
And you've got to support your team because you know what? That makes a difference.
I'm not buying that because I think McNeese has a pretty solid fan base. I'm at a loss for why they didn't show up Saturday. But I'm not ready to dog on them.
But the thing is,
you know, in the FCS world, they've got a pretty good following, a pretty solid.
Yes,
that's why you thought it would have been more.
This was a major disappointment.
That's why you thought that it would have been more.
This was a major disappointment.
I mean,
look.
But apparently, unless everybody was planning, you know, it got cold Saturday night. But
it did.
But you're saying that was paid attendance, so it wasn't like a lot of people bought tickets and didn't use them.
I know. I think some people bought and didn't use them.
Yeah.
I don't think that was 5,000 people.
But even if everybody that bought tickets had come, it still wouldn't have been much of a crowd.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
I mean,
I feel bad for the
I ran
Cowboys,
into a former Cowboy assistant coach, Chuck Gorman, who played at Tulane, said hello to you, Kevin.
Yeah.
He says you're nuts anyway. And, you know, I said, hey, Chuck, you going to be coach? He says, nope, I'm layered. I'm bundled up. He had all his hunting gear on. He was ready to go. Of course, his son plays center. You know, he's there for a reason, but still. All right. We don't, look, I'm not beating over. I'm like you. I'm not going to beat over the fans' head too bad, but I will call it pathetic and a major disappointment.
You have to support your team. You have
All
to.
right, we're up against the clock. Stump the Wise Guys, Heisman Trophy,
Already.
and a couple of big NFL notes we want to get to when we come back. Stay right there.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort.
Philip, you guys have been here for 4 years. Why is Tarver Ford doing so well?
Judge, we have a great team with a great passion to win every customer that gives us a chance. Our people are enthusiastic and prepared, our inventory is busted at the seams, and we're discounting prices and giving good money for trades to make deals happen.
Well, it must be working because I see the blue Tarver Ford tags everywhere. But how do you keep customers?
We want customers for life. So at Tarver Ford, every new vehicle includes complimentary lifetime oil changes.
Let us show you how a great team serves its customers a first-class experience.
At Tarver Ford, exit 21 Sulphur.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Cassio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Cassio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Cassio is the official sports medicine physician of Sound Off 60.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Fellas, finally, you made it.
But what if one of your crew is Questlove?
Then we brought more Miller Lite. Cool. What do you got, Smitty, here?
What do you got?
Are you kidding me?
Round of Miller Lite from the ladies in the corner.
Hey, boys. You guys want to hit this house party? It's in Thailand. Yes.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels. Time to try during this holiday period to stump the wise guys. We're getting attacked by the blondes.
Yeah.
Collie and Cameron. Before we get going,
Two of our
favorites. You're what? You're graduating from school?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
Double
you.
thumbs up.
Congratulations.
And your last day here at Jack Daniels, you're going to the Boomer State.
Right? I've been here for 5 years.
5 years for Cameron. And
gonna miss
moving
you,
back,
Jim.
moving
We
back
are gonna miss you.
to Oklahoma is going to be a new adventure.
New.
New
I've
adventure.
never
Really?
left home.
Never
Well,
left.
you'll be back in a week.
Yes, you will.
Congratulations.
We'll get you
All right,
back.
ladies, you
Yes.
ready? You're going to try to stump us.
All right, here we go.
Unstumpable.
All right.
Looking good.
Yeah, he's cheating. He's cheating.
I'm not.
Okay, question number 1. The Auburn Tigers' only BCS national championship was won by beating who and by what score?
Cam Newton, and it was
beat Oregon.
Oregon.
What was that?
Low scoring.
21-31. No.
No, it was
Low. Lower than that, Kevin.
No,
1916.
No, 21-17.
You're close and you're on it. You're close and you're on it.
What did you
Does
say,
that make sense?
21-17?
Nope. You're close.
It was tied when they kicked the field goal, wasn't it? To break the
Yeah,
tie.
that would make
They kicked
sense.
field goal in the last play of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short, extra point like field goal. 23-20 maybe?
Nope.
We're close. What we got?
22-19.
22-19.
It was an odd
Okay,
score.
okay.
All right, but it was against Oregon. All right, Cameron.
Okay, number 2.
Jameson had a good game.
2 teams are tied with the most BCS national championship game appearances at 4 each. Who are the 2 teams?
Oh, that's got to be Bama, huh?
Ohio State and...
No, I said no.
I can give you a hint for one of them.
It's got to be Bama.
I'm
Championship
leaving.
game.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Florida
And
State.
Florida State.
Florida State?
This is
Oh, yeah,
championship
early,
game.
early.
Oh, okay.
Florida State
okay.
is in
I
early.
got you.
Okay, we got that one.
Okay.
Unstumpable, ladies.
Okay, number 3. Much has been said and reported on McNeese head coach Matt Viator's 0-4 playoff record.
Oh, I don't want to answer that.
What Cowboys coach has the best playoff record and what are his postseason numbers?
Keesler.
Oh, Bob Keesler.
Got to be Keesler.
What's his
Keesler.
numbers?
Oh, I don't know his
Oh,
number.
back
I would
to
say
the
Keesler.
numbers. It's winning record.
I don't know. 75%.
I'm going to go like 9-7.
I don't know.
8-6.
8-6. We could be here all night, but we were close.
Okay.
But it's Bobby Keesler. Okay, here we go. Last one
Okay.
for
All right.
Cameron, who's
This is
going
the
to
bonus question.
Oklahoma. You want to sing that song, Kevin? Sing it for her.
Oklahoma.
Oh, no, that's not it, man. You're right off key already. Go ahead, Cameron.
I gave it a shot.
Who was McNeese's latest playoff victory and by what score?
Oh, Scooter, come on. You
For
got
the
this.
last.
You had to write about this, Scooter.
Villanova, that's all I know.
Yeah, Villanova.
Villanova, we'll be here all night with
Villanova.
these scores.
39-28.
Yeah, 2002,
In 2002.
Villanova.
Yeah.
Wow,
Got
such a
them
long
to,
time ago. All right, ladies,
Yeah.
congratulations
Thank
and
you.
congratulations
Thank
to you.
you.
Lovely Cameron, she's
Great
on
job,
her way to
guys.
Oklahoma.
Bye.
Good
All
luck,
right.
All right, y'all have
Take
a
care.
great holiday, ladies. All right, guys, a lot to cover. Jamison Winston will win the Heisman Trophy.
No doubt about it.
No
Who else
doubt.
gonna win it?
The state attorney general in Florida this
No
past
doubt about
week
it. Famous
announced that there was not enough evidence to get a conviction. Also, and this is in
How many-
quotation marks, he questioned the credibility and memory of the accuser.
Yes.
So they will
Well,
not proceed.
That was
they will
kinda-
not
That was
proceed.
raggedy. You're going to wait a year?
Be careful.
We're going to let it go.
Be careful.
But let me ask the question to Scooter. How many can you remember, Scooter, guys that have won the Heisman Trophy that went on to play for the national championship and win? Is there a big number or a small number? because I know it
To
happens.
win the Heisman and win it?
Think about it now.
Wow.
I should have waited on that. I know I got you.
I don't know. We got a lot to cover,
Okay,
but
I should've
that's
waited
a
on
good
that.
question.
But I just want to know about that.
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
because like Reggie Bush won it, but then they lost to Texas. And
Texas.
everybody, if they had the Heisman afterwards, Vince Young would have won it.
Yeah.
You know what I think is even more interesting? How is it going to play out from
That'd
a
be a
voting
good
standpoint?
trivia
That is a
question.
good trivia question.
What?
Who's going to get 2 and 3 and 4?
I don't know. 2 and 3 will
right.
be interesting.
You're right, though.
Jordan
we
Lynch,
voted
for
today.
Northern
That's a good
Illinois
point,
guy,
too.
I mean,
Right, Rick.
he lost, he
It
fell
used
off
to be
the
more
map.
fun when you actually
I
filled
know.
out a ballot and
Yeah.
mailed it in.
Yeah.
Now you do it
Scooter,
online.
you can't bring one of those to the show and just
Well,
come
but they don't have
show
them
us?
anymore. You do it
All right.
online.
Guys, there were some conditions in Philadelphia yesterday. I turned
Was that
on that
fun?
game.
Was
I mean,
that fun?
it was snowball 4
I
or 5.
really,
It's unbelievable.
I hadn't been paying much attention to the pregame shows, and I'm kind of doing some stuff around the house and all, and I lay down on the couch and, kind of give it about 5 minutes before the game, and there's that sideline reporter, and I mean, snow. And I said, oh, this is going to be fun.
Look, let me
But
say
they
this.
scored a lot of points
Look,
at the end.
yeah.
At the end was for the first half of that
I know.
game, but it did quit snowing in that game.
Well, true, but still a lot of snow on the ground.
Still a lot on the ground, but I mean,
Look,
I've never seen that.
As a kid, you know what those guys should have said to the NFL? Keep this week's check. We're gonna do this for fun. Okay.
No,
keep this week's
But here's
check.
my question.
We're gonna do this for fun.
A game like
That
that,
was too much
to me
fun.
anyway, is a blast.
It
to watch.
is.
But do we want our Super Bowl to be like
it
that?
could happen though, Scooter.
And remember, it's
Could
in
happen.
New Jersey.
First Sunday in February.
Could
yeah,
happen.
February
that could have
2.
been a Super Bowl preview.
Yes.
That could
Let's
happen.
hope not. Let's hope not.
I mean, I don't think, the Saints got as much chance in that weather as anybody, because nobody knows how to play
It
in
was
that
fun.
weather.
It was fun watching to see how they were going to do that.
It was.
All right. Guys, the New England Patriots lost tight end Rob Gronkowski for the season.
That's a
ACL,
big-
MCL. The hit was clean. It was a low hit, Kevin, from a
Yeah.
defensive back. What else are they to do?
You can't, Rick. That's it.
They can't hit
You
him
got a
high.
guy that's 6'7". I mean, you're only 5'9".
It's
6
very,
feet.
it's
You have
tragic.
to.
It's
You
tragic.
have to. It is, Rick.
It was,
You have
it was
to.
a brutal hit. Brutal
Well, it's
hit.
still, I mean,
but
you're
what are you
gonna
going
have
to do?
injuries. You're going to have injuries.
But Scooter, the point is the guys
know
are
what you're
saying they
saying.
don't want to lose 50 grand of going up high on a guy and knocking
You're
a guy
exactly
into Tweety Bird land.
Well,
so
in
you
that
got to
case,
tackle
I
him
don't know
low.
if he could have gone high if he'd wanted to.
He couldn't have. I
From
mean,
what I saw
the guy's too big a target.
Any
Rick.
risk of going near the shoulder pad, you can maybe, if
Yeah.
if Gronkowski lowers, then you got to hit on the head.
Off the record.
What are you going to do?
What was the fine for Tomlinson? Stepping
Well,
on
let's
the field?
talk about
What
that.
was the fine?
It was
It was
100
six figures, was it
grand. It
not?
was 100,000.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I don't think he should have been fined at all.
Oh.
Well, wait, Rick. We don't have enough time for this. Oh, we don't have enough time.
They didn't lose a draft choice, did they?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
But Rick, 100,000.
I know.
Because you got carried
I
away.
think they're
and in
reading
the moment,
into his expressions afterwards. He gave
he
that little
laughed,
laugh
he gave a little
and smirk.
But he didn't
He
do that
didn't mean to
intentional,
do
Rick.
it.
He didn't, Rick.
I
We
don't
know
think
that.
he did either.
What was
but,
good to me,
but-
and it doesn't surprise me. I've heard this
100,000.
before. But he says the reason he had his back turned was he watches the kick returns on the
Jumbotron.
Jumbotron.
Yeah, Jumbotron.
Gotta know where you are,
but
guys.
you know what? But you know what players do, and I didn't know this. There was a Thanksgiving game about 3 years ago when the Saints played in Dallas, and the Cowboys were about to upset the Saints.
Yeah.
And Cowboy was running for a touchdown, and he got stripped from behind. And the Saints recovered, went on, scored the winning touchdown.
I know what Scoot's getting ready to say.
And what I didn't realize till afterwards, they were talking about
They can watch themselves.
players when they're running for a touchdown like that.
They
Watch
look
the
up.
big screen they're running.
To see if
But
anybody's behind them.
Cowboy Stadium doesn't have that.
Right.
It's up above.
Yeah.
them.
That's right. They
So
can't do it.
there's no
To
big
see if
screen to
anybody's
see.
behind them. You're right, Scooter.
So the flaw in Jerry world won the
Yeah.
Saints that game.
Good point. Good
But
point.
you're right,
I
Scooter.
understand what
That's a
you're
good
saying.
point, Scooter. You're
You know, there's
He
all,
got caught up in the
two or
moment,
three
Rick.
different
We-
ways,
that
two or three
happened.
different ways to read into that. All right. It's very ironic. After the Panthers and Saints last night took the kids and all through the
Yeah.
Saints Museum and showed them the boot that Dempsey used.
Yeah.
And what happens yesterday? Matt Prater in Denver breaks Tom Dempsey's longtime 63-yard field goal.
Above sea level.
Well, you know, it's been
64-yard
tied
field goal.
several
It has
times.
been tied, yeah.
But
it's still part of Tom
Dempsey
Dempsey.
still will always have the record, I guess, for the longest straight-on kick.
Exactly. Straight on. There you go. It's funny. It was just ironic going through the Saints Museum.
That'll never happen again.
And seeing that boot and the little one saying,
Rick.
Mike, what is
special.
that? I said, that's the boot. That's the boot.
That's
all right.
That's pretty special.
Great show, guys. A lot to cover. We'll do it all again next week because there's so much more to get into. Until then, have a great sports week, everybody. See you next time.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Sound Off 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 60 Monday through Sunday nights, 9 p.m. and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Sound Off 60 also airs throughout the week on Communicom Cable Channel 6 at 9 p.m. across Southwest Louisiana. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the boys and access our website links at soundoff60.com.